everybody to Ron Rockstar Media because I'm so excited to do this show today because we're going to be doing a series called 10 Great Songs That People Don't Talk About, where we take a specific artist and we focus on 10 songs from that artist that aren't the big hits that everybody knows and loves, more album tracks, B-sides, obscurities, that sort of thing. And today we're focusing on one of my favorites, Van Halen. Oh yeah. The first thing when you think about, when people talk about Van Halen is, well, they're going to talk about Eddie's playing and his Frankenstrat guitar. But when you cut to the songs, the first thing people are going to talk about is Jump, probably Panama, Why Can't This Be Love, Right Now. So none of those big hit singles are going to be discussed today. As I said, it's going to be all more sort of album tracks, obscurities, that sort of thing. Now, what I've also decided to do, to be fair to the fans of Van Halen, which I am one myself, is I know there's this division, and many of you are in the David Lee Roth camp of fans, and some of you are in the Sammy Hagar camp of fans. I mean, I'll let you figure out which camp it is you think that I'm actually in. Can you figure it out? Well, let's take a look, because I'm going to divide these songs between the two main singers so that everybody's happy and there's no divisions. So let's get started. 10 great Van Halen songs that people don't talk about. So off the band's debut album, Van Halen from 1978, I'm going to go with Feel Your Love Tonight. I just love it. And to be honest, I'm very surprised this was not released as a single, because it has a very commercial sound to it, and its chorus especially. And I think it would have done pretty good on the charts. Guitar World magazine even said that so much of 80s hair metal bands copied this song's formula for almost that whole genre of music. See what you think.
I can't wait to feel your love tonight. I can't wait to feel your loving tonight. I can't wait to feel your love tonight. I can't wait to feel your loving tonight. I can't wait to feel your love tonight. I can't wait to feel your love tonight. I can't wait. Hello, baby.
What a better way to introduce yourself to the fans of the world than off the debut album of 5150 and the first song off that album, Good Enough. And from that intro, Sammy, Eddie just tears into one of those horse-like screaming solos, and this song just takes off like a non-stop action movie. The drumming from Alex thrashing away throughout is another highlight on this song. And it was only played by Van Halen on the 5150 tour and never done again, except by Sammy on a few solo shows that he'd done, actually even more recent years, by the way. And most recently, it was done as part of Sammy Hagar and the Circle during their lockdown shows that they were doing from home. This song certainly is good enough.
Hey, oh me, I've been working up an appetite. It seems like the harder I work, the more my body needs. Well, I'd like to open up. Come on, give me 6 on the half shell. 'Cause it's 3, 6, 9 time. Woo, 'cause she's good enough to. I can't get enough. I can't get enough.
Let's head to 1984 and one of my favorite Van Halen songs ever, the crazy, powerful House of Pain. It's the last song on the album, which means this will be the last time we would hear David Lee Roth singing vocals on a Van Halen record until Me Wise Magic in 1996. Now, while 1984 is criticized a lot for its keyboard and synthesizers, the thing is, this song, House of Pain, is a song they used to perform in their club days back in 1976. So it's really heavy. It's got that just old school classic Van Halen feel to it. And it's pure unabashed rock and roll at its best. So Van Halen started off the 1990s with For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, which brought back Ted Templeman and Andy Johns in the producer's chair. And this next album track has a lot of fans loving it because it's just so heavy, heavier compared to a lot of others on the album, and that is Judgment Day. The solo is classic Eddie. Again, Alex is drumming on the hi-hat, loud pounding, the screaming intro from Sammy, an album highlight. From Van Halen 2, I picked the song called DOA. This song just chugs along like a freight train. When it gets to Eddie's solo, it's like as if the train's just gone right off the rails. All the time, Dave's singing about being a juvenile delinquent. When his mama told him to pack his bags and the jury looked at him and said, out of luck, he certainly was DOA. It was only ever performed by Van Halen on one tour, and it's not even the Van Halen 2 tour. They only ever did it on the Diver Down tour and was last ever performed live at the Hirsch Memorial Coliseum in Shreveport, Louisiana in 1982.
Here we were sitting ducks for the policeman. They found a dirty-faced kid in a garbage can. I'm alone, I'm on the highway. Oh, yeah. Dead or alive, dead or alive.
I'm going with another song off of 5150, and I'm choosing the title track song, 5150. Now, interesting fact, this is the only Van Halen album in the band's career to have a title song named after the album, 5150, 5150. The song was played on every Van Halen tour, and its lyrics are pretty much just about like trying to make a relationship work, which in some ways can make you feel like a 5150, if you know what that means.
It's always one more. You're never satisfied. Never one's wrong with you. It's only one for me. Oh, I draw the line. Did you have the way? Have you don't know what that means?
All right, from the critically praised album Fair Warning, I'm picking another very commercial sounding song that really should have been released as a single because it would have been a hit. And despite the fact that you even made a live video for it, and that is Hear About It Later, a song that was originally written by Eddie on the keyboard, and that opening guitar riff from Eddie with that flanger effect. You know, that's the thing with Van Halen. Everyone always talks about the guitar solos or the wars of, you know, Roth and Hagar, but this band has some of the best harmony vocals in rock, and especially in the hard rock scene, maybe the best. So forget about hear about it later. Let's hear about it now.
I don't wanna hear about it later. I don't wanna, maybe I don't wanna. I don't wanna hear about it later. I don't wanna, maybe I don't wanna. I don't wanna hear about it later. I don't wanna hear about it later. Just don't agree.
The only Van Halen album to feature numbers and letters in its title is OU812. I want to say, of all the Van Halen albums from the Hagar era, this is the one that needs to be remastered the most, and quickly, by the way, please. It's definitely, of the Hagar era, my least favorite album, but that doesn't mean there's not some great songs on there. And I was pretty torn over like about two of them. And I'm going to go with a great rocker called AFU Naturally Wired. This song is exactly like the title says. It's wired. The energy, it's all about playing a concert with lyrics like pumping up for the show, feeling like something's going to blow. This is a song that not just Van Halen, but any band could and should start a live show with.
Don't like the metal squeezing me. I don't like nothing in the train. I'm on fire. Yes, I'm on fire. When I last to pack it up, I'm alive. Electric. It's fire.
So we're talking about these album tracks, you know, maybe more obscure songs. And I was going to go with Romeo Delight. And I was all set to film for that song. And I went shopping and I decided to listen to a specific Van Halen album to get ready for this show. And I was just listening. I'm like, wow, there's so many great songs on this album. I don't want to let it go without being mentioned. So instead of picking Romeo Delight, I'm going to actually choose a song that the Van Halen news desk says is the band's most aggressive album of their entire career. And that is an album called A Different Kind of Truth from 2012, the reunion album with David Lee Roth and Wolfgang Van Halen on bass for the first time. And there's so many great songs on this album. If you have not heard it, go and check it out. And I had a hard time picking one. So I'm going to go with a song called Big River, which was a song that was reworked from an earlier song in a demo in 1976, which is also available on YouTube if you want to check it out. But that alone tells you it has that old school Van Halen feel to it. Big River is just big sounding. See if you think so.
Big river, rolling. Oh, yeah. Big river, rolling. Oh, yeah. Big river.
How about we get a little balance in here, literally, which is funny since it is a very unbalanced album. However, it's really good. I like this album quite a bit. And there's one song in here I think really needs to be brought up to the forefront for you guys to hear. It is a song that's never been performed in the history of Van Halen or even Sammy Hagar solo for that matter. That's a song called Take Me Back, Deja Vu. According to reports, Eddie had the riff for this song for over 20 years. Sammy Hagar wrote the lyrics for this song from a real life event that happened. And when you listen to this song, it doesn't sound like a Van Halen song. It sounds more like a Sammy Hagar solo song, really. But on this album, it's probably the most obscure song, but I love it. I hope you guys love it too. 10 great songs from Van Halen that people don't talk about. Gave you 5 from Dave. I gave you 5 from Sammy, so everybody should be happy. But I got a little extra surprise for you. That's right. Since we're talking about, songs that people don't talk about, I'm going to pick one more from an album that people don't really talk about. That's called Van Halen 3. That's right. It's the longest album in the band's history at 65 minutes long. And it's the only album to feature Gary Cherone of Extreme on lead vocals. Now, here's the thing. Van Halen's a great band. And Gary Cherone, he's a great vocalist artist in his own right. You put the two, but the thing was, putting the two of them together, it was almost like trying to fit a round peg in a square hole. It just didn't work. And Gary Cherone himself even said that, there's some great ideas on this album and some real little gems, but just was not a good album overall. And what a little gem that I'm going to share with you guys today is a great song called One I Want. It just starts off with this strumming guitar into these vocal harmony parts. The song just keeps building and building and building until it's real rocker. And at the end, it's got this, single drum beat pounding as if it's almost like recorded live in front of thousands of people. So one extra for the Gary Cherone fans out there. Here we go. Okay, that's it, everyone. 10, actually 11 great Van Halen songs that people don't talk about. But I got one extra bonus for you today. No, I didn't pick a 12th song, but I'm going to do my first contest ever. That's right, my first contest. You're going to win a chance at a little Van Halen prize pack. How do you win and what do you win? Well, first of all, you just watched this video. If you felt there was a Van Halen song that I didn't talk about that should be talked about, write it in the comments, okay? Or just tell me how you like my video overall. Put it in the comments. I respond to every single person who writes to me. And every person who does write in the comments, their name is going to go into a draw. I'm going to pick one name, and that one person's going to win, as I said, a little Van Halen prize pack. Well, what is in there? You win an exclusive photograph of Van Halen from the 5150 tour taken by myself, so you can't get this anywhere else, and an official Sammy Hagar Cabo Wabo guitar pick. So you'll get those 2 items. We'll mail it out to you. So again, if I do pick your name, I will contact you through here, leave you a comment, and then we'll get in touch privately so that I can send you out your Van Halen prize pack. Again, how do you win? Write it in the comments. What song do you think I should have talked about? Or tell me what you thought about the video. I'm going to respond to everybody who writes to me. Also, please put a like, share this video, subscribe to the channel. And in the meantime, let me just say, happy trails till we meet again. God bless.
Happy trails till we meet again.